Hi everybody, it's Joyce Look here from Black Hair Compass, and I am coming to you guys with another video. This is a follow-up video for the last one that I posted on why I relaxed. This video is going to be the results of my relaxer. This relaxer that I did last week or the week before last, that's the first relaxer I've ever done. I did spend several months learning from other people who posted to YouTube how to do an at-home relaxer, at-home virgin relaxer. I won't be going over that process in this video. That'll be a separate one, probably the next video I post on how to do it. But in this one, I'm just gonna go over my results from my at-home relaxer. Do I think that my relaxer came out good? Yes. Did my relaxer come out exactly the way I wanted it? No, it didn't. And there's a lot of different things for that. So the first thing is, because I was working with so much hair, I decided to split my hair into 4 quadrants, and I literally relaxed and rinsed each of those quadrants by themselves. And so what happened is I started back here, and you can see that there's still a lot of like texture here, but when I first put the relaxer in and got in the shower and rinsed it out, there was no texture here. It was completely straight, and I was like, oh Lord, I done messed up. Like, it was so straight that I was like, oh God, like I've overprocessed it, like it's a hot mess. And I remember I called my mom. I was like, Mom, I done messed up. And I told her, she was like, yeah, well, now you just got to do your whole head like that because it can't be mixed matched. So what I did is, for the other side, I did a similar thing. I put the relaxer on, I smoothed it, and I left it for 18 minutes. So the back 2 quadrants, they have a very similar curl pattern kind of outcome. But because it rinsed out so straight, it freaked me out. And so I tried to correct for that. In the top quadrants, I decreased the amount of time that I processed my hair, and I also didn't do as much smoothing. And for those of you who aren't really familiar with what I mean when I say smoothing my hair, it literally just means, like, if you had a piece of hair and you put relaxer on it, you will get a different result than if you just let the relaxer sit, than if you actually smooth the relaxer in. Smoothing the relaxer in encourages the relaxer to be more effective. And so in these bottom quadrants, I smoothed quite a bit, and I was afraid, oh, I've over smoothed, I've left it on too long. So I corrected for that by putting the relaxer on for less time, and I did a lot less smoothing. Interestingly, there isn't much texture up here. This part of my hair got it's still very fluffy, and there's a lot of body, and you know, there's still volume there, but it does not curl like the lower quadrants of my hair, which I wasn't expecting. I was expecting that there would be more curl. I think the reason that happened is because when you put the relaxer on and you smooth it, you kind of encourage all the hair to process together in the same way. But when I don't smooth the hair, if it's kind of like shrunken and one's a little elongated and one's like, if they're all doing different things, it's going to process those strands differently. And I think that that's why I kind of have just a general kind of like puff frizz thing going on in the upper parts of my hair. So that's what's going on with the lower and upper quadrants of my hair. Now, the fourth or whatever I'm on thing that's different is my roots. I knew going in, I knew that the heat emanating from my scalp was going to accelerate the processing speed of the relaxer. What I didn't know was how to account for that. Most people, when they do virgin relaxers, whether it's in a shop or they're doing it at home, they do their whole head all at once. So what that means is, it's like, okay, I'm trying not to make this a how-to video, but there are some things I do have to explain. Proper relaxing technique is you relax the cold zone first. The length of the hair is called the cold zone. Then you have your ends and you have your roots. You put the relaxer on the cold zone around the entire head first. By the time you finish that, it's going to take you at least 5 minutes, right? To do the cold zone of your entire hair. Then, you know, this is where some people differ. I did my ends second. So now that means that my cold zone has been processing for 5 minutes, and then I'm about to put it on my end. So I'll do that for my whole head. So now my cold zone has been processing for 10 minutes. My ends have been processing for 5 minutes. And then I'm about to, the very last step is you put the relaxer on your roots. And so by the time you finish doing your roots, the relaxer's only been on your scalp for like 5 minutes, right? It took 15 minutes for the entire application, but each section of the hair had different processing time. Because I did not do my hair all at once and instead did it like, I'm gonna do this quadrant here, I did put it on the cold zone first, but it only took me like a minute to do the cold zone on this hair. And so then I moved on to my ends, and then I moved on to my roots. So for the most part, most of my hair, it all processed for the same amount of time. And so the end result was I have all this great texture along the length of my hair, but at my roots, it's quite straight. It's quite straight. So that's something that if you are planning on doing an at-home virgin relaxer, you will need to account for the different processing speeds of the different portions of your hair, specifically your scalp, because your scalp, the heat coming from it is going to make the relaxer work a lot faster. And I knew that. I just didn't know how to account for it doing one quadrant at a time. I knew how to account for it doing the whole head all at once, but not one section. Had I done it correctly, what I would have done is in just this one quadrant, apply the relaxer to all the cold zone and stop and just wait for 5 minutes to pass. Then go back and apply the relaxer to my ends for that one quadrant. Wait another 5 minutes. Then go back and put the relaxer on my roots. So that way each section, like let's say, you know, I'm assuming a total processing time of 15 minutes. So then that way I would have ensured, okay, 15 minutes for the length, 10 minutes for the ends, 5 minutes for the roots. And I probably would have gotten a more uniform end result had I done that. But okay, anyway, lesson learned. And so for me, while my relaxer didn't come out perfectly, I still am really happy with it because my life is, you know, I'm living my life like it's golden. I definitely learned some things about how to do it better. I don't foresee myself doing a virgin relaxer again, but in the event that I do, I'll know how to do it better. What I have yet to figure out is how long I am going to leave the relaxer on my roots when it comes time to do my touch-ups. This right here, if y'all can see, this level of straightness is the relaxer sitting on my hair for 15 minutes. So I'm thinking in between 10 and 12 minutes is probably going to give me the amount of texture that I'm looking for. It's just gonna be trial and error. When it comes time for me to touch up my roots, I will try it out and see what I get. But anyway, if you guys have any experiences with at-home virgin relaxers, comment below how your results came out, or if there's any other videos on YouTube that you know of that showcase how to do a virgin relaxer really well. Include it in the comment box below so that other people can reference it as well. While my results did not come out perfectly, I am actually very happy with the work that I did. And like I said, I'm still excited to see what's gonna come in the future. But as always, thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you next time.